So then, let's talk about Undertale, shall we? You know, that best independent game nominee at the Video Game Awards that got beaten by Rocket League. That old style RPG that everybody quotes and has practically been memed 1,000 times. That particular Kickstarter made by 2 guys which has now already been considered a cult classic. Yeah, that Undertale. And since I'm going to be talking about Undertale a lot, just a heads up, this is a bunch of huge spoilers for those of you who haven't played the game yet. If you haven't played this game yet, I urge you to stop this video, go buy the game, play it, then come back and watch this video. This game has to be experienced just by playing it alone, not just by watching a YouTube celebrity playing it for you. You lazy hack! With that out of the way, I'm filled with determination to tell you about how I discovered Undertale. I found it quite surprising that a lot of people have been talking about how great Undertale is holding up today, as this game has only been released like 3 months ago on the PC, and has already been garnered as one of the best indie classics, especially considering the look and the style it was presented in the first place. But the main question is, how did I come across this fascinating gem? How did I discover such a compelling piece of storytelling art in the 21st century? Why through Skype, of course! Social messaging has never let me down! So this is pretty much how my story went. On the 25th of October, I was in a Skype call with a couple of friends of mine, just having a good old Sunday to ourselves like no other, when one of them said to me, "Hey dude, you ever heard of Undertale?" And I was like,
"Nah, I never heard of that game. Sounds weird though."
And he was like,
"Oh shit, you gotta try this game, man. It's like the best video game right now. You gotta play it."
And then he gave me a copy of Undertale without the soundtrack.
How lovely.
I didn't start playing it straight away. I usually get distracted while playing a video game in the middle of a call, but I just turn off the game and forget about it for a couple of days. It's what I do with most of my games, after all. Once I had a whole entire evening to myself, I decided to pick up the game again and play it from the very beginning, just to experience what all the fuss was about. And once I have completed the game first time with a neutral ending, my initial thoughts were,
man, it's okay. Not the best game in the world, but it's okay. But fuck me, that boss is so creepily hard.
From that point, I didn't really understand why everyone has praised this game to high heavens. I mean, sure, it has its fair share of humorous moments, and the meta was there, but it didn't really make me feel engaged with everything that was happening story-wise. Then I played through this game again, when my friend on Steam told me that there was more to offer in this game. And holy shit, did that playthrough feel so much different to when I first played it. The second time I played through this game was to get the true pacifist ending, after I have gotten the neutral ending. I realized that there was an option in the game that I just glanced over, even in the description of the game on Steam, where you don't have to fight in battle. Instead of using the fight command, there is also an act command, showing a list of moves that you can unleash on an enemy, such as compliment, flirt, devour, ignore, hug, talk, etc, 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 offering a variety of silly ways to engage in battle and to show that not all monsters are evil, just misunderstood. I mean, look at that slime over there. It's just so cute and playful. It just wants to have fun. Once I killed it.
I'm a terrible person.
And unlike games which claims that your choices affects the story in a different way,
which is not always true, by the way,
in Undertale, every choice you make affects the game. Every choice. Like, if you accidentally kill Toriel, but you want to go back and spare her, the game will talk directly to you about the choice you made. Every monster you spare and fight affects the world around you, and how monsters treat and respect you. Characters you talk to on the phone or face to face will have a lasting impact on yourself and the characters in question. It's like an episodic RPG that helms on your choices and makes them truly matter to help shape the game based on your playstyle. Oh, wait a minute! Also, the experience felt really different for me as well. For the first time, I felt like I was actually engaging with the world around me, and the characters felt more alive and real, especially when you date them, which brought into question about my difference of opinion. Did I only feel that the game was okay because of how I played it? Did the game change its identity to reflect me truly as a game itself? That was when I discovered why this game is so great, and why thousands of other people considered this game amazing. It tackles the true essence of RPGs in general. This game is not just a satire of all RPGs, but a social commentary of how RPGs make us feel when we play them naturally. I will tackle on this topic later on. Undertale did affect me in a way that no other game has ever made me feel before. Every choice you make is made by you and not the game. It glorifies in your choice and goes out of its way to make you feel responsible, whether you're good or bad. When I have achieved a true pacifist ending, it made me feel happy inside. It made me see the true light of telling a different side of this complex story. It made me realize that there is more effort in this game than I give it credit for. So what happens after that? Should I try again to get a different ending? Or should I keep the story at a happily ever after? Well, that's the game's question, not mine. This is where I truly thought that there was nothing else left for me to complete in Undertale. Then my friend brought to my attention that the genocide route is really, really hard and quite a challenge. So I replied, I never back down from a challenge. If you know me really well as a person, is that I always appreciate a good challenge in video games. Once I hear that the game is hard and challenging, I will stop at nothing to succeed. Except when it gets too hard for my taste and leaves me crying like a baby.
Fuck it, I can't do it! Can't do it! Fuck it! I can't do this! Oh, God!
God, that was like 4 years ago. And here I was, going down my final route in Undertale, the genocide route. In my opinion, the most disturbing and scarily psychological of all routes to take. It was from that very point that the whole game I was playing has changed completely. It has gone from sparing every monster to slaying every monster you come across in an area, until there is nothing else left to destroy. It lets you know how empty the world is, and it makes you feel empty, right to the music being slowed down. It feels like you're playing a creepypasta game, but one with much more to tell, rather than just have blood on everything in the hopes of scaring you. I swear to God, the first time I saw these very words show up on the screen, the size of the font, the minimalistic detail, the foreboding music, I knew that I have done something wrong. But just like that, I kept going. That's the point of playing, right? To get to the end, as it were? And from there, all of the characters treat you very, very differently. Like a rejected Satanist, a cult extremist, a waste of human space. All because of your actions you thought would do no harm to anyone, nor yourself. Dialogues change, environments become different, and the battles become more fast-paced and more harder. There is a reason why the battles become harder. These characters are stopping you not just for their good intentions, but to protect others who live in this monster world from you and your masochistic journey. In particular, Undying the Undying and Sans the Skeleton, they warn you that you still have a choice to turn over a new leaf and stop this nonsensical violence. They aren't trying to kill you in the hopes of stopping you, they are trying to kill you to make you quit out of frustration. They know that no matter how many times you try to defeat them, they will always appear to be stronger than you. I swear, I have died on the Undying fight 7 times and died on the Sans fight 24 times, and the game records every single one of your deaths. Don't believe me? Here's my frustration for all of you to enjoy. Oh fuck! Ah! Oh, what the fuck? Come on, you can't surprise me with that! Ah! Fuck! Ah! Fuck! Ah! Fuck! Ah! Oh, come on! Ah! Ah! I'm so fucking close! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah! Yes! Oh my god! Ah! Whoa, whoa, whoa! What the fuck? Ah! I'm dead. No, fuck this. Ah! Fuck this game. And funny enough, it worked. The game had done its job. I have quitted out of frustration and the game proved itself to be right. You can tell by my frustration that I wanted to finish them and see what would happen next. But like all of us, we want to get back in and try again to see if we have the tiniest bit of hope left to beat them. And what is your reward for your victory? Your reward for being a monster hunter? Your reward for eradicating monster kind? The game staring directly at you face to face. Your protagonist has 2 names depending on your playstyle. Frisk, referring to the protagonist's good side, friendliness to other characters and such. And Chara, referring to the protagonist's dark side, showing no remorse to killing anything that stands in your way and seems to relish in the glorification of suffering and torture, pretty much similar to the devil. Chara is your evil self, the reason why you have taken this genocide route all this time, to awaken the human inside of you who despises monsters and wants to make them extinct off the face of the earth. Remember when I stated that this game is a social commentary on how RPGs make us feel when we play them naturally? This is what I was talking about, and the game knows you from inside out. HP, attack, defense, gold, experience, level. Every time a number increases, that feeling. That's me. Poopsie. Oh, ignore that. That was a bit of fun. In all retrospect, what Undertale is saying is that RPGs make us strive for a goal to become stronger, and when we see ourselves becoming stronger, we all feel satisfied. It's in our gaming nature, in our human programming, and no matter how much we try to change our perspective of leveling up, we can't hide it. We all get off on it. Some of us might have seen RPGs in a different light before Undertale happened, but for me, nothing is more stronger than being hit with harsh words from an indie game that knows me from inside out and knows that I'm to blame for all of this. The worst part is, there's nothing else left. We exterminated the monsters in one RPG, and then we move on to the next RPG to fight monsters in. We unlock all of the trophies, unlock all of the achievements, and then the cycle continues to the next game we play. This feeling applies to when you game that game on midnight release. You have a blast with this game you considered fun for a couple of days. When they fly by, and you've already accomplished what you've been set out to do, another game makes its way into the market for people to blast through. So it's pretty much what has been happening all this time. But I'm repeating myself here. Once you realize your biggest mistake, the only option you have in the game is to erase everything. Even yourself. And then, nothing. Just pure blackness. You're just left with a black screen to ponder over the things you fought for in this empty, lifeless world you have eradicated. It was fun to begin with, but all of that has gone away. Was it all worth it? And that was the true challenge of Undertale for me. But funny enough, the true challenge of Undertale isn't the fact that killing every monster raises the difficulty, but accepting what a monster you have become to get to this level of violence. 20 to be exact. To be fair, I have played games before that directly told me that I was a monster for committing something bad. Take Spec Ops: The Line for example. It was a linear first-person shooter game, showing the dark sides of playing a first-person shooter. The sensation of killing, the glorification of spilling blood, anything you could do to rack up experience points and unlocking new guns to progress through the game. But in the end, none of all this was worth it. You, as the player, as the controller, are the only person to blame for all of this destruction. Your protagonist, Walker, wanted to become a hero so badly that he created stories in his head as he goes, mirroring only what he sees and kills. The ending does drive that point home for most of us.
You don't mind me asking, what was it like? How'd you survive all this?
Who said I did?
Undertale also labels that same point of view becoming a monster, for making the choice to kill everything that stands in your way, an obstacle that impedes you from your main goal. That's what I love most about Undertale once I went through its multiple paths. The more I play this game, I begin to love it even more. No love is not an acronym this time. So if you guys haven't been following with what I've been trekking through so far, this is a diagram of the routes I chose to travel down. However, the game isn't even far from being over. There is still even more to this game than just the routes. There's the hard modes, the Easter eggs, the post routes. There's so much more to this game that gives it replay value, if you don't look up YouTube videos more often. Trust me, there are plenty more secrets that this game has to offer in terms of your choices, but I don't want to go through all of them in one go. It's not my duty to do that here. But what I will say is this: try Undertale. It holds up as one of the best indie games of all time, along with Shovel Knight, a classic throwback to 8-bit platformers, To the Moon, an emotional story that tugs at your heartstrings, and Cave Story, a game that's full of nostalgic charm. And thanks to Toby Fox and Timmy Chang for crafting such a classic reminiscent of Earthbound, I can never play or look at an RPG the same way ever again. Well, this has been my story of how I discovered Undertale. I would like to know how you discovered Undertale. What were your routes when you first played through this game? How did this game make you feel eternally once you explored the other routes? Let me know in the comments below. Or just don't. That's always fun. By the way, how in the hell can you get that stinking artifact? There's no way to get rid of that annoying dog. I just want the artifact. What does it do? Why is it here? Why does that dog shove it up in his ass every time I try to get to it? What is the point of it being here?